Archaeologists working in Vietnam have uncovered remains of a man, dubbed TBH-1, that offer rare and disturbing insight into human violence from more than 12,000 years ago. The skeleton, found in Thung Bin 1 cave within the Trang An Landscape Complex, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, reveals what appears to be a projectile injury, infection, and ultimately death, possibly one of the earliest known homicide cases in mainland Southeast Asia. TBH-1 was a male around 35 years old when he died. He was uncovered between 2017 and 2018. His body was buried in a fetal-like position. Despite some post-burial damage to the skull, flattening due to rockfall, etc., researchers were able to reconstruct much of the skeleton and teeth, indicating he had lived reasonably healthy life until the injury. Aside from a minor ankle injury, there were no other severe signs of illness or aging. The study shows that TBH-1 suffered a fracture in a rare extra supernumerary rib near his neck, called a cervical rib, which is present in less than 1% of people. The rib was broken, and nearby was found a small quartz flake, an artifact made of quartz, shaped like a projectile point and not matching stone tools found locally. This suggests it was brought in from elsewhere. That quartz point likely penetrated soft tissue and lodged near or in the rib. After that, TBH-1's injury failed to heal properly, and infection set in. The bone shows signs of chronic infection, like draining pus channels, and the rib fracture shows healing or attempts at healing, indicating he survived for weeks to months after being wounded. Ultimately, the infection likely became severe enough to kill him. This could be one of the oldest known examples of interpersonal violence in Southeast Asia. While there are older cases elsewhere, human remains from this era, late Pleistocene, in this region are rare. Finding the actual projectile point near the injury makes the case more convincing. The artifact is exotic, not typical for the area, raising questions about where the tool came from and possibly about travel, trade, conflict, or migration. The fact that TBH-1 lived for some time after the injury, despite the infection, suggests others may have cared for him. He was buried purposefully, which could indicate social bonds and ritual behavior among the community. The study cannot tell why he was hit. It might have been interpersonal violence, murder, but it also might have been an accident, for example, a weapon mishandled. The identity of the attacker, or whether this was part of larger conflict, remains unknown. Also, this is just one individual. It's not enough to draw firm conclusions about how common violence was at this time, or whether this kind of injury was rare or typical. The TBH-1 skeleton shows us that violence, conflict, and suffering are ancient parts of human society, not just modern ones. Yet this find also reflects something possibly more hopeful. Even after injury, TBH-1 seems to have lived on for some time, possibly with support, and was buried with intention. It reminds us that our ancestors, while facing harsh and dangerous lives, were also social, caring, and complex.